Children, welcome back to English class. Today I will teach you non-detail the last chapter, the second part of English book, that is Ulysses and the Cyclops, written by Charles Lamb. Now first I'll read the hard words. There are two characters, Ulysses and Cyclops. Ulysses, constrained, prodigious, stragglers, drained, manifest, cunningly, dissembling, clamorous, disengaging. Now, glossary will read Ulysses. Ulysses is the hero of Homer epic. Epic means in Kannada they say Purana, the story, big legend story. That is, Homer was a blind writer living in a very ancient time in Europe. He had written a great epic called Odyssey. He was the king of the island of Ithaca in Greece. Cyclops, race of giants having only one eye. Cyclops means they are giant. Giant means Rakshasa, they will tell you, no? Now I'll show you the picture. Then he has got center on the forehead one eye, no, two eyes. And then very gigantic personality. And they were barbaric. Barbaric means what? Savage life. Like not cultured, not civilized, behavior. I'll read again. Cyclops, race of giants having one eye in the middle of the forehead, who inhabited in island of Sicily. Sicily is in Italy now, but Sicily that time something different. These are all imaginary story, children, not real. Coasting on, sailing the ship along the coast. Betoken, indicate. Contrivance, device. Conjecturing, guessing. Recesses, remote, secret place. Now I'll read about the author, Charles Lamb. He is a Charles Lamb. He lived in the year 1775 to 1834. All imaginary story has written, but it has become very popular, familiar. The children fond of reading this Ulysses and Cyclops, the adventurous story. Very nice. And volume of books are there. They have selected only one part for you. Charles Lamb, born in London, was a great essayist, a poet and a much loved storyteller. He, with his sister Mary Ann Lamb, wrote tales from Shakespeare designed to make Shakespeare familiar to the young. His Adventures of Ulysses, from which Ulysses and the Cyclops is an extract, was another successful attempt aimed at familiarizing the Greek epic, the Odyssey, to the young. Odyssey written in a classic English, and to the young means all people can understand. All people, the generation after generation, they are all young. Is it not? They are all called youngsters. Here I am showing the picture, see children, that is a cyclops. He is a cyclops. See, only one eye in the forehead he is having. He is a very big personality, and his men all were living in an island, and they were shepherds. Shepherds means who will rear the sheep. Outside they were going and then rearing the sheep, and they are coming back to the cave. They were living in cave, big cave. Often they were drinking wine. Wine is a drink, okay? And then they were eating all animal, non-vegetarian animals. And next they were rearing the sheep. Now I'll read out. You can understand. Here Ulysses, with a chosen party of 12 followers, landed to explore. Explore means discover what sort of men dwelt. Dwelt means living there, whether hospitable, good people, and friendly to strangers, or altogether wild. Wild means cruel, and savage. Savage means like uncivilized. For As yet no dwellers appeared in sight. They were searching who? That Ulysses and his men. They were moving the ship. They landed in Sicily. They were searching, the place to take shelter for a few days, and no shelter was found. No people also were found. The first sign of habitation which they came to was a giant's cave, rudely fashioned. Roughly it was built, but of a size which betokened the vast proportions of its owner. The pillars which supported it being the bodies of huge oaks or pines in the natural state of the tree, and all about showed more marks of strength than skill in whoever built it. Really, it was a skilled one. Pine and oak tree, that timber and all they brought, and then they gave support, and they made a cave. Rock, backside and all rock, front side like shelter type they made with the uh, this one timber stem of the tree. Ulysses entering in admired the savage contrivances and artless structure of the place, roughly built that hut and cave and all decorated roughly, so he appreciated Ulysses and longed to see the tenant of so outlandish a mansion. Mansion means house, but will conjecturing that gifts would have more avail in extracting courtesy than strength could succeed in forcing it from such a one as he expected to find the inhabitant, he resolved to flatter his hospitality with a present of Greek wine. He found all the Greek wine, these jars were there inside the cave, of which he had stored in 12 great vessels, jars. Okay, he found inside the cave the jars, wine was stored. So strong that no one ever drank it without an infusion of 20 parts of water to one of wine. Yet the fragrance of it, even then, so delicious. The wine smell was coming, and then it was, stimulating these people to drink. No, so nice it was that it would have vexed a man who smelled it to abstain from tasting it. But whoever tasted it, it was able to raise his courage to the height of heroic deeds, taking with them a goat skin. Flagon full of this precious liquor, liquor means drink, that wine, they went into the recesses of the cave. Here they pleased themselves a whole day with beholding the giant's kitchen, where the flesh of sheep and goats lay strewed means cut and then spread. His dairy where goat milk stood ranged in troughs and pails. Pails means what? That we'll say, madke, kudke, all that we'll say, that is called, that this one. In the kitchen they were stewed, troughs and pails. His pens where he kept his live animals. Pens means that is a separate home, was a place built for the sheep and goat to live in that cave only, inside only, room type. But those he had driven forth to pasture with him when he went out in the morning. When he was going out, he was taking all the sheep and goat. When he was entering into the cave, he was bringing them inside, and then he constructed separate part of the cave. He was leaving that goats to live. And now next one, here while they were feasting their eyes with a sight of these curiosities, their ears were suddenly deafened with a noise like the falling of a house. It was the owner of the cave who had been abroad all day feeding his flock as his custom was in the mountains, and now drove them home in the evening from pasture. he threw down a heap of firewood which he had been gathering against supper time before the mouth of the cave, which occasioned the crash they heard. The Grecians hid themselves in the remote parts of the cave at sight of the uncouth monster. Look here, this Ulysses and his men, they entered inside the cave and they were searching and the water, all he things he kept, where he has kept everything, his kitchen, all. They found that all animals' flesh was spread and then kept and everything, and wine also they saw everything tempting. Suddenly, monster entered. Monster means that giant entered with a sheep, and the sheep all actually they went to that place, particular specific place, and then they stayed. And then this man, that is a giant, he came and then with a big noise, and then he suddenly sat. These people, what happened immediately? Ulysses and men, whatever the broken part of the rock will be there inside and all. Wherever the small part is available there, they hid. Hid means hiding, okay? Bachittukollodu, okay, like that they did. It was Polyphemus, the largest and savagest of the cyclops, who boasted himself to be the son of Neptune. Means Polyphemus, his name is Polyphemus, and then he was telling that Neptune, Neptune, that is the planet. He is son of the planet, all boasting, he was always. He looked more like a mountain crag than a man. He was looking very height and a hefty personality. And to his brutal body, brutal means very, very cruel body, he he had a brutish mind answerable. Means he was cruel also in thinking. He drove his flock all that gave milk to the interior of the cave. He left the male sheep and the he goats without. Then, taking up stone so massive that 20 oxen could not have drawn it, he placed it at the mouth of the cave to defend the entrance, and sat him down to milk his female ewes and his goats, which done, he hastily kindled a fire. Kindle ಅಂದರೆ ಹತ್ತಿಸುವುದು, ಬೆಂಕಿ ಹತ್ತಿಸುವುದು. And throwing his great eye round the cave, for the cyclops have no more than one eye, and that placed in the midst of their forehead, by the glimmering light he discerned some of the Ulysses' men. And next, "Oh, guest, who are you? What are you?" Then he suddenly found that some smell is coming, and then men smelled and all. Then he found out somebody has come. Then he inquired, "How, guest, what are you? Merchants or wandering thieves?" Then he asked, "You are merchant or thieves kaldra?" He bellowed out in a voice which took from them all power to reply. It was so astounding. Only Ulysses summoned resolution to answer that they came neither the plunder nor business, but were Grecians means they are from Greek, who had lost their way returning from Troy. Troy is also a place in Greece. Yet now they prostrated themselves humbly before his feet, whom they acknowledged to be mightier. Mightier means stronger than they, and besought him that they would bestow the rights of hospitality upon them. He replied nothing, but gripping two of the nearest of them as if he had been no more than children, he dashed their brains out against the earth and, shocking to relate, that means tore into pieces their limbs and devoured them. Means he took the two men and then tore. Tore means kattirisodu. Then he started eating. That is Ulysses' men. Two became victim. Yet warm and trembling, making a lion's meal of them, lapping the blood for the cyclops or man eaters. So suddenly he caught hold of two, three men, and then he tore, and then he started eating and drinking blood also. Then he found that, Ulysses found that the cyclops is a man eater. Follow? And esteem human flesh to be a delicacy for above goats or kids, though by reason of their abhorred customs, few men approach the coast except some straggles, and now and then a shipwrecked mariner. Sometimes, no, the ship when wrecked in the sea or ocean, some people they were coming and they want to take rest. Some by mistake, if they enter into the cyclops, then he was eating those men. So he says that the men flesh is very tasty. He enjoys. At a sight of so horrid, Ulysses and his men were like distracted people. When he had made an end of his wicked supper, supper means they will eat nice grand food, no? That's called supper. Drained a draught of goat's milk down his prodigious throat and lay down and slept among his goats. Now he killed a few men and fast he ate because it was so tasty, and then he had eaten a long time back. Now after a long time only he is eating now men, and then so he enjoyed eating, and then immediately goat milk, one suck he drank, and then he fell down. Nice, he slept. Okay. Then Ulysses drew his sword and half he half resolved to thrust it with all his might in at the bosom of the sleeping monster. But wiser thoughts restrained him, as they had there without help all perished. For none but Polyphemus himself could have removed that mass of stone which he had placed to guard the entrance. So they were constrained to abide all the night in fear, because while entering that Cyclops, he kept one big rock, that is door. So that is the door of the cave, one big rock. So these people now, they can't push the rock. Only few men are left because so a few men were eaten. So they became less in number. That is Ulysses' side. So what they thought, in fear only, they thought we can't push that rock and then escape. We have to be here only, but without making noise, silently let us hide, and then let us move. Like that they thought. And now, next. Then when he fell asleep, he fell asleep. Oh, Cyclops. Ulysses watched his time while the monster lay insensible and heartening up his men. They placed the sharp end of the stake in the fire till it was heated red hot. See, they took that stake means ಅಂದರೆ ಒಂಥರ ಕಲ್ಲು ಇದು ಮರದ ತುಂಡು ದೊಡ್ಡ ದೊಡ್ಡದು. Okay, that they kept in the fire, and then it became hot, and then that edge they took, and then what they did now I'll read. Some God gave them a courage beyond that which they were used to have, and the four men with difficulty bore the sharp end of the huge stake which they had heated red hot right into the eye of the drunken cannibal. Now, four men, what happened now? Edge, they made that stick edge sharp and then kept it in the fire. Fire always it was burning inside because to warm their body, that Cyclops, they kept fire. So boldly they kept, and then they took that immediately. Four also, they went near very silently near the Cyclops. He was sleeping nicely. They put it to his one eye. Now, poked. And then what happened now? that red hot right into the eye of the drunken cannibal. Cannibal means the man who eats the man, flesh of the other man. He is called cannibal. He waking roared with the pain so loud that all the cavern broke into claps like thunder. So with a shake, she got up and gave a roar. Roar andre jor shabda madodu, garjane. So what happened now? So he could not bear that pain because one eye, it was the fire was poked. No, they fled and dispersed into corners. He plucked the burning stake from his eye and hurled the wood madly about the cave. Then he cried out with a mighty voice for his brethren, the cyclops that dwelt hard by in caverns upon hills. They, hearing the terrible shout, came flocking from all parts to inquire what ailed Polyphemus and what cause he had for making such horrid clamors in the night. Time to break their sleep, because when he gave a very loud noise, no, then all the neighbors near the mountains, all other people all came, and then near that cave they said, what happened, what happened? They all started, why did you, like thunder, why did you shout? How are you? What happened to you? Like that everybody started inquiring. They, hearing the terrible shout, came flocking from all parts of the inquire what allied. Allied means the neighbor, Polyphemus, and what cause he had for making such a horrid clamorous in the night time to break their sleep, because they were all disturbed in their sleep in the night. So that's why they were all asking, what happened like that. Then Cyclops made an answer from within that no man had hurt me, no man had killed him, no man was with him in the cave. They replied, if no man was hurt thee, and no man is with thee, then thou art alone, and the evil which affects thee is from the hand of heaven, which none can resist for help. So they left him. See, children, what they are telling. They replied, if no man hurt thee, if no, what he says, no man. He says that who hurt you? What happened to you? All the people are all came and then asking, that Cyclops type of people only. Then he said, that no man, he only hurt me, like that. No man. See, again tell you, no man had killed him, no man was with him in the cave. That's why they reply, if no man was hurt thee, thee means him, no man is with thee, then no one is found now. No one is found with him, then thou art alone. Then he is alone, the Cyclops is alone. No man is there. No man is killed. Then what happened to him? Then all started gossiping. What happened to him? Simply he shouting and disturbing us in the night and all. They started discussing. And then what happened? Then they came to one conclusion. The evil which affects him is from the hand of heaven. Okay. His last days has occurred. That's why he is murmuring something all. Let us move like that, thinking that which none can resist for our help. For this, no death and all, we can't help. God only should, save him. Like that, thinking that, saying that, what happened? They all started moving, here and there. He, blind and ready to spilt with the anguish of pain, went groaning up and down in the dark to find the doorway, which when he found, he removed the stone and sat in the threshold, feeling if he could lay hold on any man going out with the sheep, which the day now breaking were beginning to issue forth to their accustomed pastures. But Ulysses made knots. Now he thought that anyhow these people they'll go out and then I can find out and then kill, catch hold of, because somebody is hiding inside, they'll go. By the time, though I have become blind, I will go, I will find out and I'll kill and then eat. Like that he was waiting for that. But Ulysses made knots of the osier twigs upon which the cyclops commonly slept, with which he tied the fattest and fleeciest of the rams. Rams means sheep, that big sheep. So he tied to the stomach of that sheep, that fattest wool, like that, and three in a rank, and under the middle ram he tied a man. So a man was tied under the stomach of that ram means sheep, and then tied upside both together, that is the body, this man body, with that ram tied, and then he uh, pushed that ram went outside of the cave, and himself last, wrapping himself and then fast with both his hands in the rich wool of one, the fairest of the flock. Flock means the sheep. And now the sheep began to issue forth, very dreaming, very fast. As they passed, he felt the backs of those fleecy wolves, never dreaming that they carried his enemies under them. Then he never thought all the sheep are, Cyclops thought that all the sheep are moving outside. Oh, they are going because I can't take, because I have become something, or I'm in trouble. So all the sheep, let it go, like that he thought. But all the sheep, no, it was sent out by the Ulysses, and men were tied in the stomach of the sheep. So they passed on till the last ram came loaded with his wool, and Ulysses together, he stopped that ram and felt him, and had his hand once in the hair of Ulysses, yet knew it not. When Ulysses found himself free, he let go his hold and assisted in disengaging his friends. The rams which had befriended them, they carried off with them to the ships, where their companions, with their tears in their eyes, received them as men escaped from death. Because all the people who were all waiting in that Greasy, then what happened? They are welcomed, and then these people told stories that they escaped. Then they all felt happy and also cried because they escaped from the death and they came alive. They piled their oars and set their sails, and when they were got as far off from shore as their voice could reach, Ulysses cried out to Cyclops, Cyclops, thou should not have so much abused thy monstrous strength as to, while moving the ship. So Cyclops, he cried, Ulysses cried to Cyclops that you should not have so much abused thy monstrous strength as to, don't show your cruelty, don't show your bad behavior or attitude or whatever it is to the others. Eat thy guests. The Cyclope heard and came forth enraged, and in the anger he plucked a fragment means piece of a rock and threw it with blind fury at the ships. It narrowly escaped lighting up upon the bark in which Ulysses sat, but with the fall it raised so fierce an ebb as bore back the ship till it almost touched the shore. Cyclops said, Ulysses, if any ask thee who imposed on thee that unsightly blemish in thine eye, if anyone asks you who damaged your eye, then you tell, say it was Ulysses. Say it was Ulysses. Don't say no man. You say that It is Ulysses damaged my eye. You tell, I am the son of Laertes. He says, I am the son of Laertes. Tell the king's name, the king of Ichaka. Am I called the waster of cities? So he say, I am living in the waste of cities, and then my father is, the Laertes and king of Ichaka, and the son, and then I went for the war and other adventures also. So I am returning home safely. Then if anyone asks you why you lost your eye, this one, injured your eye, you tell that it is, Ulysses, son of Laertes, the king Vitacha. Then they crowded sail and beat the old sea and went forth with a forward gale. Then by this Ulysses and Cyclops lesson is got over, and I hope that you all understood. You know, then I'll next class I'll take another interesting non-detail completely completed children. Everything is over. 3 also are there. Now I'll end my. I'll wind up. Thank you.